Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. I have a question for you. Do you have any Stampin' Blends where the ink has dried up or is starting to dry up? Well, if the answer is yes, then in this video I want to show you how you can rejuvenate your Stampin' Blends using alcohol blending solution. And in order to do that, I'm going to show you again how to remove the brush tip, which I showed you in a previous video. If you didn't see it, that's fine, because I'm going to show it to you again. So if you have, for example, as I do, because I found another Stampin' Blend with a brush tip that is starting to get frayed, and so what you'll need is just a little pair of tweezers, and then these Copic classic brush tips. You actually get 3 of them in a pack. I used one already, that's why there's only 2 in here, and I'm going to take another one out because I need it for this demonstration. Okay, I'm going to take one out, and I'll put the link to that in the description below. So you'll see it comes with this little metal tip. You don't need that. You can just pop it off. It comes off really easily. You can throw it away. You're not going to need it. And this brush has a brush tip and a nub tip, and the nubby side is the part that's going to go into the barrel of the Stampin' Blend. But first, let's remove the brush tip that's starting to get frayed. So all you really need to do is use your tweezers. Let's see if I can do this reasonably easy. And I don't know if you can see, it comes out. Give it a little tug, and it just comes out. You can just toss that. You won't be needing it anymore. So now as I don't know if you know this. So inside the barrel of the Stampin' Blends, there's like a, there's an ink cartridge, right? I guess that's what we call it, an ink cartridge. And it has an opening on both ends, and so the ink flows from one end to the other. Which is why we store our Stampin' Blends this way rather than, straight up and down, because you wouldn't want the ink to flow only in one direction, and then when you go to use the other end, it's dried up. So you always want to store your Stampin' Blends laying flat. So this alcohol blending solution and I'll put a link to this in the description below as well. It's made by Ranger. It's Tim Holtz product. So this comes with a little pointy tip, and all you're going to do is put about 3 drops of this into the opening. Let's see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to just put the top back on that. Okay, and all right, well, actually, you know what I want to do? I'm going to open that back up again. I'm going to put that down because it's not going to drain out. What I want to just do is just put a little bit of this solution onto the onto this little replacement brush tip. Okay, that's all. And that helps the ink to get soaked up into it. Although I have to admit, I did one last week, and I did not use the solution and the ink flowed into it just fine. But anyway, since I had the solution out, I just thought I would do that. Okay, so now, as I said, you're going to take the nub tip on this. I don't even think I need the tweezers, to tell you the truth. I want to see if I can just do this. maybe I do need the tweezers after all. All right, I'm going to push it in, and it is a little bit tight. So you may have to just push kind of, you know, with a little bit of pressure. There we go. And then you're going to end up with a tip kind of like that. And then I'm going to put this back on. I'm going to give it a little shake. And then you can store it this way with the side with the new tip. You can store it facing down. It doesn't take all that long for the ink to begin to flow. Let me see. To be honest, it was when I did this, was it last week? It actually began to flow pretty quickly. All right, well, I'm just going to let it sit. I'm going to let it sit aside. I'm going to place it in a pencil container, actually. I'm going to throw away my little ink nubby because I don't want to get it all over everything. But I do want to give you a word of caution about this. Oh, wait, before I get into the caution, I just wanted to say that, no, you know what? I am going to go into the caution right away because I don't want to risk losing my train of thought and forgetting. This product is flammable, and there is a warning on the back, and it says that the vapors can be harmful. Now, obviously, harmful if swallowed. You don't want to do that. And so, if you have any skin irritations, the sensitive skin, if you have any respiratory tract issues, then what you'll probably want to do, especially with respiratory tract issues, you'll want to put a mask on until the vapors disappear. Now, I just had this open and I was using it, and to be honest, I didn't really smell anything, but I don't have respiratory issues. So I would just say, just, you know, be cautious, maybe put a mask on, open a window, and or just don't use the product at all. But like I said, this is not something where you open it and the vapors come flying out and it's like really strong and makes your head spin. You know, I've used like epoxy on some craft projects, and wowie, you don't realize how much those fumes will get you, and all of a sudden my head was like spinning around because I didn't have the window open. That was not what I experienced with this, but I just wanted to let people know that that is the situation with this. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you about in terms of this product versus just using alcohol, and you can use just like 91% or 99% alcohol in the Stampin' Blend to rejuvenate it, but pure alcohol that'll probably work, but it may only work temporarily because it'll probably evaporate. And the difference between just using pure alcohol and this blending solution is this blending solution contains glycol. And glycol is a product that is used to, you know, in coloring, and it creates a nice smooth sheen. You know, nice smooth when you're, and that's what you want when you're coloring. And in fact, some people use the glycol when they're using their watercolor pencils because they get a nice smooth coloring with it. So the glycol is what makes the big difference in terms of how smooth your coloring is going to be with your Stampin' Blend. So like I said, I mean, the straight alcohol is cheaper, obviously, but it might only work temporarily because it may end up just evaporating. Now, this bottle runs about $7 or $8 depending on where you buy it. I found it on Amazon for $7. It's 2 ounces. It sounds like it's a lot of money. You're using 3 tiny drops, and that's it. And how often are you going to do that? How often do you have a Stampin' Blend that runs out of ink? Or runs a little bit dry? This bottle is going to last a long time. For me, I've had my Stampin' Blends for, aside from the in colors that change all the time, the regular colors, I've had my Stampin' Blends since 2018, and none of them have dried out. Now, admittedly, I'm not huge on coloring. I do color, I do use them for coloring, but I'm not a colorer, so I don't use them all the time, and so that's why mine have probably lasted longer than some others who do a lot of coloring. But I still believe that this is going to last you a long time, and that even though it seems like it's pricey at $7 or maybe $8, you're not going to be buying it a lot. So I hope you found these tips helpful, and like I said, I will post links for both this alcohol blending solution and the replacement brushes in the link below. So thank you for joining me today for this quick tip. Appreciate it. Have a great day.